I kind of regret maybe not going into it harder when I had the chance to. I feel tremendous pressure to not have kids. Your husband was the first guy you've been with. Hey guys, welcome back here. It is tea time, so I sincerely invite you to make yourself your favorite cup of tea, coffee, hot chocolate or iced water, depending on how the weather is today where you are. I have a lovely rooibos tea today with almonds, rose petals. I'm fairly sure there's some almond essence in there as well. It has a very strong marzipan scent to it. It's absolutely lovely. For today's tea time, I thought it would be fun if I pull out an old favorite. I am going to react to your guys' assumptions about me. I always think it's really funny to hear like how people perceive me online. Even though I'm definitely myself on camera, I do present a curated version of myself online, of course. For the most part, you only get to see a small part of me and my life and my personality. And I always think it's really funny to see how people perceive that and how it comes across. So that's what we're gonna do today. I'm gonna head over to my Instagram where I sent out one of those question stickers and a bunch of you guys responded with assumptions. So let's go. I'm gonna keep this anonymous. Please know that I only respond to the ones I want to. There are a couple in here that involve other people in my life and I'm gonna refrain from reacting to those, sorry. Let me have another sip of my tea and we can get started. You are afraid of teenagers, as am I, lol. Oh, actually, yes and no. I used to be terrified of teenagers, especially groups of teenagers. That's just the worst. But as I've grown older, I have now come to an age where I no longer exist to teenagers. I am invisible and it is amazing. Also, I have to say it's only groups of stranger teenagers that frighten me. Often when you get to know teenagers one-on-one, they are fantastic people. I was a scout leader to the teenage age bracket for 5 years and it was my favorite age category to work with. You can appeal to their sense of logic and be like, dude, is this a good choice you're making here? But also they are still kind of willing to experiment and play around and you can tell that they're almost ready to go out into the real world and I have so much pride when I look at my kids. You are not religious, that is true. You actually have a lot of screen time because who doesn't? Yes, this is a problem. Like seriously, this is a problem. I am fairly sure I have a bit of an addiction because I don't want to do this anymore and I cannot stop. For the past 3 years, less screen time has been at the top of my New Year's resolutions. Can't do it. I can't do it. I have every single thing I can do done on my phone. Like I have time limits on apps. I have these scheduled modes where access to certain apps shuts off at certain times of the day. I have taken some apps off of my phone completely, but I somehow always find a way. It's horrible. It's an ongoing struggle. And yes, I have way too much screen time, way too much. Especially if I also count my other screens besides my phone, like my tablet and my computer, nearly all day, honestly, and I hate it. You feel more societally pressured to have kids than you want them yourself. I had a little think about this one when it came in, and I came to the conclusion that it's actually the other way around. I feel tremendous pressure to not have kids. I don't know if this is just me, but as someone who has been on the fence for the past couple of years about, what the right thing is to do, what the right choice is to make, I feel like the media, and especially social media, is telling me that it is the worst thing you could ever do to yourself, having children. I am someone who suffers from anxiety, specifically anxiety related to loved ones getting hurt. I also have sensory issues, and I really struggle with unexpected changes. I thrive on a very rigid schedule. I thrive on knowing what to expect, and all of those are they are not the ideal personality traits for a parent, right? But I do know in my heart that I would love to have children, and I cannot see myself in the future. Like when I think of myself in the future, there is no future where I see myself without children. But then whenever I see people express their struggles online with parenthood, every single time without fail, the answer is, well, shouldn't have had children then. You knew what you were getting into. And it's just, I feel like the fact that it is so much of a choice now, or at least the country I live in, parenthood is a choice. There's a wide variety of options available if you don't want to have children, to not have them. So if you do have children, it is very much considered a choice and your own problem to deal with, especially when you end up struggling a little or not being able to handle it all by yourself. Shouldn't have done it then, but like there's no going back. There's no going back. I feel like there is so much pressure on parents nowadays. Also, everywhere online, people complaining about parenthood, people talking about how it's the hardest thing they've ever done, the most difficult, the most life-changing. The reasons that people give you for having children are so abstract, like the love you receive and you won't know until you try and things like that. We get told so often, if you're not sure if you want it, just don't do it. For the sake of the kid. For someone like me who makes decisions very rationally based on, going through all of the scenarios and everything, it's difficult to accept that you're plunging into chaos. And even if it's, best case scenario, perfectly happy, healthy child, good relationship, everything's fine, you're still plunging into chaos. And I strongly feel like among my generation and younger, the mentality is just don't do it then. Actually, I do feel more pressure to not have kids than I do to have them. I actually really long for people to tell me how amazing it is and how incredible and how it's the best decision they've ever made and how it changed their life for the better and how they can't see themselves going back to their old life and how they wouldn't trade the life they have now for their old life. Even when actively searching for that stuff, most of what pops up is, this is so hard and I am out of my depth here, and it is frightening. It's frightening. I feel like I've just gone on a tangent forever and it's not clear what I'm trying to say at all. Basically, I think I really want children, but I feel like everyone's telling me it's a horrible idea. There is only one way to find out how it's going to be. Only one way to find out. Oh boy, I would love, please, if you relate to this at all, let me know, because I feel so alone. I can't find the people that also feel this way, and what have they done and how do they feel about their choice now? So if you felt like this and you had children, please tell me honestly how you feel about that right now. That would be so helpful. Thank you. Okay, next one. Wow. Let's have a sip of tea first. A lighthearted assumption. You always play a long-range character in D&D, like an archer, magician, cleric, etc. No, I do prefer, I prefer long-range characters, but I have a fighter and a barbarian. They are my least favorite types of characters to play, if I'm honest. My favorites are my rogue character, love her, my warlock, which was 4th edition. One of my newer characters is a wizard, I'm really enjoying that as well, but they're at a low level still, so it's gonna take a while before I really figure that out. I have played a cleric a couple times now, and I actually kind of enjoyed that as well. You can't sit still and have 1,000 hobbies. Well, you guys know I have 1,000 hobbies. I have so many hobbies. I feel like almost every creative thing that you can do, I've done it, I've tried it. However, I am very good at sitting still. I love nothing more than just laying down on the sofa after a day, and just binge watching a show all evening, getting snacks and not getting up at all, except for to get more snacks. I enjoy sitting outside in my swinging egg chair in the garden all day just reading a book. I am very, very good at not doing anything, which clashes with my 1,000 hobbies. It's a bit of a problem. Oh, I wish I had more time in a day. Your husband was the first guy you've been with. That is true. He is my first boyfriend, my first everything, so yep. You are really innocent and sensitive. I don't know if this is weird to say about yourself, but yes. And I think people find that either endearing or absolutely insufferable. You have a whole bookshelf of books about really obscure things like 1800s fashion. I do have a bookshelf of very obscure books, but they're not about fashion. I think my most obscure bookshelf that I have is my Celtic studies. Wait. This is a transcript of a 12th century, I believe, maybe 12th, 13th century Irish manuscript. 14th century? Maybe it's 14th century. It's medieval, it is wonderful, it's magnificent. I absolutely love it. I never use it anymore, but I'm never ever going to get rid of this because who has this? And I have a couple more books along that vein. I have a bunch of transcripts of old Irish texts. I have some Welsh as well. This is my Branwen, and this is medieval Welsh. And isn't this just the coolest thing? I don't know, it's just, I love this. Old languages, that's my obscure thing. But I don't actually have a lot of books about fashion. I only got into like historical fashion very recently, actually. Like it was my pandemic hobby, kind of. Yeah, lots of room to expand there. You are the harshest critic of your work and a perfectionist. I think I am, but only because other people say I am. I personally don't think I'm a perfectionist because I am very capable of accepting things that are good enough. However, I think my idea of good enough is maybe not the same as other people's idea of good enough. I definitely don't need things to be perfect, but I do need things to be good enough at all times. I do, however, often feel like the things that I do and make are good enough. I never feel like they are perfect. Very, very rarely do I make something that I think is perfect. But I do think I often make things that are good enough, and they are definitely not perfect. So does that make me a perfectionist or not? I don't know. You have all those teas, but you drink 1 or 2 different types 90% of the time. No, that is not true, actually. I think I probably cycle through about 10 favorites that I go to every time. And yeah, that is probably about 90% of the time, but I do have like a bigger range of favorites. You sometimes regret pursuing YouTube as a career. No, never. No, I don't regret it. I can't think of anything I would rather do or have done for the past 15 years than YouTube. The only regret, also not really, but I kind of regret maybe not going into it harder when I had the chance to. I was here very early when YouTube was just starting up, and I was considered a pretty big YouTuber for a while there when it just started, just because there weren't that many YouTubers around and I was here. And I should have maybe jumped on that opportunity a little bit more and been a bit more assertive with getting myself out there and connecting with other people in the industry and things like that. But I am just incredibly socially awkward and shy and not good at that. Very, very much not good at selling myself. Even if I had put a bit more effort into it, I don't think it would have been very successful. So I'm gonna give myself some grace there. If anything, it's not necessarily a regret of something I didn't do. I just maybe kind of wish I was more comfortable with doing that and taking up that space for myself. You never go to a party, bar, or club. Never is a strong word. I say I do this very, very rarely. When I was a bit younger, I would do it occasionally, like 2-3 times a year. I never really enjoyed clubbing. It's just not for me. It's too late, it's too loud, it's too weird. Like, I don't understand the social kind of dynamics and etiquette that completely changes from day to night, and all of a sudden there's a whole new set of rules to follow. I don't understand. It's fine, it's not my favorite thing to do, but every now and then, like for example, I celebrated my 30th birthday in a karaoke bar, which was great fun. Absolutely loved it. We went home nice and early. It was amazing. You are afraid to be more silly and funny in videos. I see potential. Thank you. Yes, I guess maybe yes. I have been holding back a little bit less lately. I don't know, maybe you've noticed inserting more little jokes here and there into my videos lately. I used to like really actively not do this when I was younger, but I'm kind of letting go of that. I joke around a lot more in real life. I also kind of just find that hard to do on camera because there's not actually a person on the other side. I really like to bounce my humor off of the other person that I'm with, you know? You only wear the super cottagecore outfits on filming and photo days. Yes and no. I don't have like two separate wardrobes, and when I film, I don't dress up to film. I wear my regular clothes when I'm filming, so anything you see me wearing in a video, unless it's like a fashion styling video, I'll wear in daily life. Most of the time I dress kind of, yeah, like this. I am always in dresses and skirts, and this is a fairly like normal outfit for me. I do dress up for Instagram photo shoots. That's when I will go all out with like the corset tops and the bustiers and the long skirts and layers and everything. I won't wear that in daily life. Yeah, the things you see me wearing in videos are my normal daily clothes. You always say yes to plans but never want to do it, and then fake excuses or stop responding. Sometimes I say yes to things that I then regret and want to pull out from, but I will never make excuses or stop responding. I will just do the thing and hate it, and then be really, really tired for days after. In general, I know myself pretty well now, and I know when I need to stop saying yes to things. Just, you know, sometimes when it goes wrong, I do, when I'm committed, I will come through and just not enjoy it. Oh man. You don't like to do workouts. For the longest time this was true, but actually for the past year or so, I have been going to the gym every other day of the week, which is really out of character for me. And I agree, I would not think that about me, but I love it. I love it. I started going with a friend, and I started doing things that I actually enjoy at the gym. I joined a little bit of a nicer gym that I went to before, and they offer all these group classes, like yoga classes, but also just workouts with music and everything. They have a swimming pool. I started playing squash with my friend. We go together all the time, and it is so much fun. Having a workout buddy and having lots of options, just for variation's sake, but also so that you can find something that you actually enjoy, makes all the difference in the world. And I feel so good when I move my body, like just for my brain, it's so good for my mental health, and I feel stronger physically as well, and it's incredible. I absolutely love it. It's not necessarily the working out itself that I love, but just what it does for me is so good, and the fact that I get to see my friends so often makes it really fun as well. I think that's where I'm gonna end, guys. Thank you so much for sending in your assumptions. Would love to continue talking to you in the comments below. Thank you so much for joining me for several cups of tea. If you're not already subscribed to my channel, please consider doing so. I would love to have you here more often. If you would like to maybe support me through Patreon, there's a link in the description box below to where you can do that. Thank you so much for your support. There is another video here that I think you might also enjoy. You can go watch next. Thank you so much for watching once again, and I will see you very soon in my next video. Bye!